So David's parents were both Iraqi. David's father was from a small town called Diwania, and his mother was from Baghdad. They met down in Baghdad when his father was actually tutoring his mother in math and fell in love. They ended up getting married and having a daughter, but then it was becoming increasingly difficult to be Jewish in Iraq. His father, actually before he'd met his mother, had been a teacher at a school called Baghdad College, which had actually been founded by the Jesuits in, I think, 1930s. So he had written a book which was sort of like an SAT prep book covering chemistry and trigonometry and algebra, and the authorities had come in the middle of a lecture, had come and arrested him. They accused him of being a spy for Israel and put him in jail for 8 or 9 months, tortured him while he was there. For the Jews at that point, it was very difficult. People who were trying to escape, who were trying to move to Israel or to move anywhere, were not allowed. His father was lucky and got a passport, and so in order to get out, you could not get a tourist visa to the United States or to Europe or anywhere else, but they were allowed to get a tourist visa to Lebanon. So what they did was they pretended they were going on vacation to Lebanon. So they only had suitcases for like a couple-week vacation. They had their baby. They had a container of baby powder, which had some money hidden in there, and that's how they got out. David and I met when he was a fourth-year medical student up at University of Rochester, and I was a third-year internal medicine pediatrics resident up at University of Rochester as well. And we did not meet in the hospital. That is an important fact for anybody who works in hospitals, that we did not meet there. We actually met at a singles wine tasting. He was forced to by his mother, and I just wanted to go. I was kind of making a beeline for the food, and he kind of interrupted me and started talking. And he then had an awesome smile, and he still has an awesome smile. But yeah, we really just kind of hit it off that first meeting. We have 2 kids, Zachary, who's now 13, and Naomi, who is almost 11.
I first met Dr. Maine many years ago through email correspondence when he was an applicant to Mercy's preliminary internship program. When Dr. Maine first showed up as a brand new Mercy intern for orientation, he stood out right from the beginning as somebody with a very friendly and outgoing personality and very enthusiastic about being an intern, about being a physician, about helping patients, and definitely a standout right from the beginning.
Let me tell you that the first time I encountered Dr. Maine was when he came to make a presentation to the board about the Center for Interventional Pain Medicine. And what I observed and never forgot from that meeting was the compassion that he exhibited. He talked about the fact of it's such a privilege to serve patients who come to you. Some of them have concluded that the intractable pain they're experiencing is something they're going to have to live with for the rest of their life. And he talked about the privilege of offering them hope for a better quality of life, and I never forgot that.
I first met Dr. Maine just walking through the hallways of Mercy. He seemed like a pleasant guy. We had a high-bar relationship for a while. We had a chance to participate in a couple committees for the hospital. One committee where I got a chance to meet Dr. Maine a little bit more intimately was the Mercy Executive Committee, and so I had a chance to see how he operates, which is fortunately for the Mercy family in a very strong way.
There are some similarities between David and Tom, and I think that a big one is that ability to see the big picture and to think sort of 5 or 6 steps ahead, and to really take a step back and not be just in the weeds.
At a recent board meeting, I pointed out to the board that the fundamentals of Catholic social teaching are really deeply rooted in what we refer to as the Judeo-Christian tradition. And I talked about the dignity of the person, the common good, and care of the poor. And I feel certain that we're on very steady ground. Mercy's values match up completely with Catholic social teaching, and Catholic social teaching, in turn, is embedded in the Judeo-Christian tradition.
All the knowledge that we as physicians have, or we think we have, we'd be remiss if we did not acknowledge the role and the presence of a higher power, for me specifically, that God plays in the healing of our patients and forwarding our mission and our values and commitment to communities. Having a leader who similarly has a strong background in faith like Dr. Maine will further enhance Mercy's mission.
So when we moved to Baltimore, that was for David doing his residency at Hopkins. You know, at that point was going to be temporary, didn't really know where we were going to end up. We really fell in love with Baltimore. It just kind of gets under your skin. You really has a nice mix of culture and great restaurants, stuff that you can do that's outdoors. It's just like a really neat city. At one point there was a thought of potentially moving away, but we really just loved Baltimore and decided to stay. We feel like it's a really great place to be. We love the variety, we love the diversity, we love the city.
That's what Mercy got right, is that they have somebody who's got positive energy, who's an excellent communicator, who's super brilliant, who touches people, again, at all levels, administratively, laterally with peers, just with the staff. I think Mercy's blessed to have Dr. Maine taking leadership and continuing the legacy of Mr. Mullen, who's done a phenomenal job. Mr. Mullen, of course, left very, very big shoes to fill, but if there is someone tapped for the job who can fill those shoes, I think it's Dr. Maine.